Hi, and welcome to my Power Click training session. You know, this is one of the first devices I ever made, and it's probably, to most people, one of the most important because it creates or shows you how to create more club head speed. And I know that everybody out there is looking to create more speed. You know, the first thing I think you have to understand is a little bit of the theory about why it works. I was told many years ago the secret to distance is learning how to sustain your lag pressure as you go through the golf ball. Well, that kind of sounds tough, but it really isn't. It's the idea of I'm not, you know, everybody in the world creates this thing called lag pressure at the top of their swing. What we're trying to do on our way through is to maintain it, where most of the people in the world are throwing it away. They're throwing their hands at the golf ball, maybe because they thought they were supposed to, they've been told to. However, in our understanding of the golf swing, it's not so. At the address position, it's okay to have your right wrist flat. That's okay. But when I hit the golf ball, I want it bent. So I created this for a way for me to prove to myself I was doing it correctly or not. So that's what the Power Click's all about. So what I decided to do in this little episode is to show you some different ways that you could train to do it. Again, first off, let's start with the theory. The theory is, if you're right-handed, is that your right wrist should stay bent as it goes through the golf ball. So my right wrist is still bent. It's bent as I go through impact all the way up to my finish position. So what I would do is I'd go to the practice tee. Number one, because really I'm not talking about muscle memory. I'm talking about brain memory. And I need your brain active while you're hitting golf balls so that your brain can learn something here. So you start off and you say, okay, this is what correct is. And then you might want to hit just even hit chip shots to check that it did. Well, you can see I did do it. So I'll tell you what this really does. It helps me in my scoring ability because to really score the golf ball well, you have to be very confident that what you are doing is correct. Well, the Power Click, because of the auditory nature of it, tells me I did, or it tells me I didn't, which I can live with. All I want to know what right is, and then give me a way to practice so that I know if I did do it or if I didn't do it. The majority of the time that I would practice with the Power Click is putting it on my right wrist. If you go through all our videos on the Lag and Load site, you'll start to see very much a theme. In my idea of golf, my right side runs the whole show, the whole entire show. My left side is inert, it's along for the ride. So I would put it on my right wrist because my right side, my right hand, is really running the entire show. So I would practice mostly, probably, with it on my right wrist. However, I also don't mind telling people what the left wrist should do in a golf swing. You know, I don't think there's very many books out there in the world, golf books, that you would find any disagreement that when you hit a golf ball, your left wrist should be flat as you go through the swing. Rhythm and timing, the best explanation I've ever been given in my life about what rhythm and timing actually are is when the left forearm, the left wrist, and the club shaft go through the golf ball at the same time. That's all it is. If they break down, then you've lost your rhythm and timing. You know, forever with chipping and pitching, we've been told that the club head should always be behind the handle. Okay, there's no big deal with that, but maybe for the first time ever, if you had a Power Click, you can really actually know that you did do it. If I do it, you won't hear it click. If I did it wrong, which I don't want to do, you would definitely hear it click. So it's just instant feedback telling you what correct is and or telling you if you didn't do it right. So there's nothing wrong with putting on your left wrist too, going through the golf ball. I can actually stand here and hit golf balls. And my left wrist is really flat. However, I do need to say this though. It is dependent on if you have a really neutral grip, no question about it. However, even if you don't, you can still make a little mistake and bring it back. Bring it back. If you stay with the Lag and Load process, we have so much video footage, so much content out there. It all comes back to the same theories all the time. Anytime you want to learn about speed, you go to the yellow section. Anything we have to do in yellow will have something to do with teaching you about speed. Anything to do with red will teach you arms and so on. So today, just for the power click training, I wanted to show you a quick way of how you can just put it on, check to make sure it's working correctly, swinging the golf club correctly. You can see from that angle that it's not breaking. If I do that, it's definitely breaking. It really covers a lot of those things that we've been hearing in golf books since we've been little. It just gives you a real quick, instant feedback to how correct you are or how maybe you aren't correct, so therefore you can fix it. You know, we totally believe in your ability to do things correct. It's up to us to continuously show you what correct is. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy the entire site. We're going to keep adding content to it. So hopefully I'm going to try to make it impossible for you to not get better.